Hello, everyone. Welcome to the APMA podcast. You may notice that Jordan's not here. He's having a bit of a problem with his internet. I don't know if it's trying to identify something else. He's just refusing to work at the moment, but he will join us if he can today. Hopefully, he can. We've got Dan here, and he's got a shelf behind him. It's a new addition to his backdrop. He's going to put a lot of stuff on. I can tell.
The slowest. It's the slowest backdrop I've ever done. I think just slow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's taken 3 months to put a shelf in.
You got to build slow,
Build slow.
Through, you know?
Yeah, but when it's built, it'll be pucker. I've got some other bits I'm gonna slowly put on it. Play like a game.
Yeah,
spot the difference.
What sort of stuff do you want to put on it?
I've got a load of stuff from my old office that I've still got stuff at the factory I'm bringing over. So, but I've got big space here for. I've got some posters. I've got the Owlman. I've got this I want to put up.
Nice.
Yeah, but I need to. The room looks alright there, but I need to paint the room. Really, I'm not happy with the colour.
What sort of colour do you want in the room?
I'm thinking like that back bit there. I'm thinking like a navy blue, and then this bit, like it looks a bit blue there, but it's grey.
Yeah, I think it's the light coming through the window makes it look.
Yeah, so maybe like a light blue on there, and then I need to deck it out, but I've been doing my garage. It's on my list.
It's on your list. So many stuff. That's it. What Bob? It's probably when you look at your phone.
That's not even my ringtone. That's not thing.
It's someone else's phone. It's just in
I've got the APMA ringtone.
Oof.
Right, airplane mode. That should
hang it on. I remember going to your office and you had like a separate cabinet for all your there was some collectible stuff in it. There was a load of stuff in there. I just remember that being I was like, wow, that is quite a fine collection of stuff you've got there.
Yeah, so that's all in a box at the minute somewhere. I think it's at the factory. I don't know. And that will all go there.
Nice.
So, here he is.
Is your internet working?
I think so.
Oof, here we go.
It's dropped in and out. I also have tonsillitis, so
yeah,
got antibiotics yesterday though. Oh, and this and that's my right hand. The cast is off.
You traded it for tonsillitis.
Yeah, literally. I was like, you can edit now. Don't speak on camera though. It's like great, sweet.
So you don't.
But yeah, so what have I missed? Hello. My internet was tripping out.
Yeah, we said your internet was tripping out. Dan's gonna put some stuff on his shelf behind him, and he's gonna paint his walls when he's got the chance.
Yeah, because the setup, I'm very beige and grey at the minute. It's not the look. It's very old man look at the minute.
Yeah.
If you give it enough time, though, it'll come back in. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind you, say that. I was in H&M the other day, had a look in the men's section, right? I would call it the fucking Ted Bundy / Jeffrey Dahmer collection.
Nice.
It's all 70s, beige corduroy, fucking turtleneck, just all beige, orangey, browny, that kind of.
Yeah. To be fair, sandy and corduroy and stuff is kind of in.
Yeah.
I don't think a beige chair and your beige shelf is up there yet. I could go full Dahmer. Not full Dahmer.
Not full, yeah.
Partial.
Yeah. Never go full Dahmer.
Yeah.
Start checking your fridge.
I'll change it up next week. Bit of blues. That's what I'm missing. A bit of blues and blacks.
Okay.
Nice. What is? I've seen the title. I can't work out what the episode is about.
Well, you'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
It's not as. It was a bit clickbaity, a bit.
Oh,
it's potentially having big ripples, But we'll go for it in
big ripples.
Yes, yeah. It's a massive fart. No, it's something to do with the economy, but I won't we won't get bogged down in the economy because that's quite boring.
Oh,
But
Right.
it is something to do with the economy. I'm just saying that will change certain things or could change certain things. But the first thing I want to talk about is this emergency alert thing that's going to happen on
Oh
Sunday.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Was it this Sunday? Is it?
I think so. What is the date on it?
Yeah, the 23rd, 4th, 24th,
23rd. 23rd.
23rd.
Yeah. So that's going to be at 3 p.m. and for 10 seconds your phone will literally light up whether you've got it on silent or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're testing it's a national security thing. It'll pop up saying there's a national
Ah,
threat or something.
that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why now? Why, when
Yeah,
there's nuclear tensions with Russia, would you do that?
that's weird. Don't like that
Yeah.
at all.
No.
It's weird how it's taking them this long to do it.
Well, it's because it's
America's had it for
needed
ages.
now. Yeah, but did you see a few weeks ago that the guy that went on the news to tell everyone that this was happening? The interview he done was so weird. He was like, "Yeah, because if there was a flood, this would go off." It's like, yeah, because people in Birmingham
Yeah,
need this
exactly.
alarm for a flood. Fuck
Yeah.
off. Just say what it is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You've got a
yeah.
war in Ukraine with Russia. We don't know if they're winning or losing, let's be honest, because propaganda both sides.
Mhm.
But if it doesn't go well, and you've got, was it Finland joined NATO, which is exactly the reason that he wanted, or one of the reasons he wanted to invade Ukraine was the fear of them joining NATO, because he didn't want NATO on their borders. There is tensions rising nuclearly, and that's what these alarms are for. Therefore, if a nuclear warhead is headed your way, so you have like 10 minutes to do something, hide, call your loved ones.
It's weird, really, isn't it? Yeah, because it's like the technology to it. We don't even need to know about it. Just have it set up.
Yeah.
Don't do test runs because then that just means that it's just creating anxiety, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Maybe
Massive
that's the point.
anxiety.
Maybe that's the point. Maybe it's to create fear to get more control.
Yeah,
Who
maybe
knows?
it's a control move.
Yeah.
But imagine some fucking clever fucker hacks that,
Yeah.
and then just sends it's 10 minutes nuclear. Imagine the chaos.
Oh yeah. It happened to, funnily enough, weirdly, it happened to Jim Carrey in Hawaii. He was on holiday, and Hawaii got the thing, and he just said he just sat on the beach and just stared out to sea, expecting to die in the next 10 minutes, and it was actually a
false alarm.
fuck up. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. But it just annoyed me that they were like, well, flooding. It's like, no, why would you give it to people in the fucking Midlands? Bollocks. Just tell it, just say what it is.
Do you know these? We'll jump on that. You get these. What are they? I suppose like hackers or like, like when they say about your bank details and stuff.
Yeah,
there's going to be loads of people jumping on that. Like, when you get these messages come through saying stuff to try, like, you need to fucking, I don't know, transfer sort of click this link, otherwise you're going to be nuked.
Yeah, definitely.
We've reserved you a place at a nuclear bomb shelter.
Yeah.
Please transfer Bitcoin now.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah. I quite, because like the thing is, no one's got any bunkers, have they? I'd quite like to build one.
Yeah.
In my garden. I'd like to do it, but like through the floor of my shed. You know what I mean? So you got like a cool hatch in your shed.
Yeah, that guy on YouTube's done that. Have you seen him?
Yeah, well, the guy with the tunnels and that. And
he's got like a
cool.
pantry, and you go down his pantry through the tunnels, and it's a proper bunker.
So cool.
It is sick.
Yeah,
he's got everything in there. Any power tools, air compressor, like.
Look, but I'm not being funny. If that is what you need, because if this alarm genuinely goes off, unless you can get underground, you're fucked. But even in, like, let's face it, London would be the target. So the London Underground's no good because that would just be vaporized. But for like us that have got a little bit of leeway in distance and time, you need to get underground. Where the fuck? Like, I'm thinking in Norwich, where would I go? There is nowhere. I mean, I guess there are tunnels, but you can't get into them.
I mean, for me, if something like that happened, absolutely fucked.
Yeah,
Like,
what would
absolutely
you?
fucked.
Where would you go?
The only road to get out anywhere is to go towards Norwich or go Lowestoft way, and both will be congested to absolute
Yeah,
fuckery.
just get a
So
boat.
it's going to
Get a
be a
boat,
boat
go out to sea.
or going for a swim. You know,
Yeah.
it's those are the options. It's literally boat or swim.
Do you have
If you
anywhere
could
to go,
make it,
Dan?
yeah, to the factory, because that's
Oh, of
it's
course.
called,
It's a
yeah.
fucking.
If anyone can make it there, they're welcome. So it's called the Laser Building, and it's it's the MOD where they
Yeah.
did trials and tests on the laser. So all the walls are 6 foot concrete thick.
Fuck.
So that's the
Forgot
place
about that.
you
That's what
want
you
to
want.
be.
If you
So
get
it's
some inside
it's about
information.
12-minute drive from here. The thing is, even if I've got the factory or not, I'm going there anyway. Like straight through the windows,
Yeah.
and then into there's like a bunker part where they tested the laser. It wouldn't help with radiation, but it would definitely stop any blast.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, that's
Yeah.
the place. Oh, but
So-
you know, it could. Some of the concrete could collapse, and then you're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there is that. I mean, it's not a great situation
But
either. Way.
I take my chances there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But I just. Is it almost like. Hang on, what's this? I just had a comment. Did I predict the Russian war? Liam Bennett, I still can't believe when Jordan predicted the Ukraine war in that old episode, he said Russia loved taking a bit of land mass here and there. There we go. Call me
Yeah.
Mystic Meg.
That's it.
We've predicted a lot, I think.
We
on the
have.
pod.
We have. I can't wait for our episode 2, the zombie apocalypse, to come true. Looking forward to that one. But the but yeah, like but at the same time, without being like morbid, and I mean, I guess like Dan, like you say, you can get to the factory, but like because there's nowhere really for me to go, rather just not get an alarm.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
And
yeah.
just-
What I don't see the point in this alarm.
Nah, because like it's just going to cause panic before everyone dies anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
And, yeah, that's what I guess the only benefit is you can get your loved ones.
yeah,
Is it what are they? So it's an emergency alarm for floods.
yeah.
Yeah,
Anything
it says
else?
it's for emergency alerts, severe alerts. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
but the
say
guy
specific.
the guy that was explaining it, who's part of like the development or some shit, he gave the example of floods for a use.
Yeah, that which is dumb. Because again, you don't need an and there's. Has there ever been a time apart from when we've been at war that we've needed a system like I understand Hawaii having it or countries that are open to earthquakes.
Yeah,
we don't need it in the UK.
no,
Unless it's for something bigger.
unless it's something we don't know about.
Yeah,
like nuclear tensions ramping up. Because this is the most obvious.
Yeah, 100%. Is
answer.
it government?
I believe so.
Government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But it will literally stop everything, won't it, on your phone? It'll just turn your phone into an alarm.
Yeah, for 10 seconds.
Could it be, again, if you think about COVID, they did all that on the news, but could it be like another reason to do that? Like, there's a new strain on the alert, like, or do a lockdown by phone by that alert system. Again, another way of like controlling people, because obviously, like news, when COVID not come out, they did lockdowns and stuff. And I remember at the start, I think it was in different areas as it was spreading. So
wasn't like Leicester the first to do? Oh no,
yeah,
it
was like this place got locked down, and so then if you had this system via phone, imagine doing that with that would have probably been quite difficult to orchestrate.
Yeah.
Whereas if you had an app on phone that just goes to everyone's phone no matter what, it'd be a lot easier, and it's going to catch on a lot quicker, and so it could be another way to do that. Be a good way to shut down cities and stuff if you needed to.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think, not to go too deep into it because I know it's still controversial, the whole COVID shit, but do you think that if there's another lockdown, people would even listen? In light of
I'd definitely say not as many people would listen.
Yeah, because like in light of just how many lies in the end were told, and also the fact that you've got like Matt Hancock coming out saying that they were basically making it up on the fly, didn't really know what they were doing. Plus, they weren't paying it. They weren't living by their own rules that they were setting and shit. I just think that a lot of people would be like, "No, fuck off."
Yeah. I think if they did it again, they would, bearing in mind all that's happened, I think they would like just go deeper on the lies and be more, just make it sound a million times worse. So because, and then to get people to comply, because the first, like I say, it's crying wolf in it. The first time you're like, no, I'm really new, so most people were just compliant.
Yeah.
Whereas this time, I agree, they wouldn't be. So they'd have to go. They'd have to, be like, oh, it's so much more dangerous, this strain. I think they'd go. I think that if we do have another one, they're going to make it sound like the end of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't know. I just can't imagine a reality where people would listen anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Because of just how wrong they got it and how just like full of shit they, and just the fact that all these doctors have come out and said, was it WHO or whatever were telling them like, if you can put down COVID as the cause of death, not a contributing factor. And that's why like all of the numbers were inflated because I could have gone out, got hit by a bus and died on impact. They did tests on my body, found I had COVID. They would put me down as a COVID death.
Yeah, I remember
like that's misinformation. That's bullshit. And also the fact that you were seen as a dangerous conspiracy theorist if you dared say that it came from the virology weapons lab in Wuhan. It had to have come from a meat market, from a random bat, rather than the weapons virology lab in Wuhan that was testing COVID. The most logical 2 + 2 = 4 answer. You were a dangerous, racist conspiracy theorist if you dared say that. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And now it's like, oh yeah, well, of course it is. Of course it was the lab in Wuhan. It's just like all this spread of misinformation. It's just, I don't think people would trust the government anymore.
So on that, and linking to what we just talked about, obviously you control people through fear. Now, if you've got an app that can control people through, say, oh, don't go out your house because this area might get targeted by fucking Russian nukes or whatever. It's another way to control people in it, rather than no one's listening to COVID, but they'll listen to nukes are coming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the nukes are coming.
Absolutely. I mean, I went. I don't want to sound like a complaining dick, but and I'm sure the whole mask thing, regardless of COVID, I'm sure masks have reduced the spread of all sorts of illnesses and diseases. But I went to the doctors the other day. I got my antibiotics for my throat over the phone. I sent a picture and stuff. It was awesome. And they just said, but anyway, I had to go into the doctor's surgery because I needed jabs because I'm going to Egypt. Perfectly healthy human being. I'm coming here to get some jabs so I don't get typhoid. That's all I'm here for. Went in there, spoke to the lady on reception. I've got an appointment at like 3, whatever. Yeah, okay, if you want to go take a seat. I'll go to walk over. Excuse me. Really abrasive. Can you put a mask on, please? I thought, what the fuck? I was like, okay. And I put a mask on because I couldn't be asked to go there. Do you know what I mean? But I was thinking, I'm a perfectly well human being. And the waiting room was empty. And she didn't have one on. But she abrasively shouted at me to put one on when I wasn't there like, oh, I think I've got COVID. Oh, I'm ill. I was there just to get a jab to prevent any further illness, even though I was perfectly well. It's been years now. What the fuck?
Yeah, I remember that period quite vividly because it's interesting watching scenarios where you
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, but it triggers memories because if you give people power, basically over COVID, you gave everyone, you gave loads of people power who are in an environment where there's humans to say you have to wear a mask, and it's interesting. Some people are polite, some people are like militant with it, and it's just interesting watching the power swing where you can make somebody do something.
Yeah.
And like, so again, people were like rude, and they had control. They could make you do it, and if you didn't do it, people would kick off, or you'd be the one in the wrong. And it's interesting watching that power swing like so quickly to so many people that would never been able to do that in the past.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
Some people react very bad to getting a load of power.
Yeah. I've got a prime fucking example. It was one of the most disgusting experiences of my life in a public place, right? It was during lockdown. It was when I was doing the quizzes, and we had a load of stock that got overprinted, and so I had a box of it, and so I was doing giveaways for the quiz prizes, right?
Yeah.
So I had a load of them that I needed to take to the post office, and this post office was in a co-op, and this was when it was like fucking like 3 people in the shop at a time. You have to queue up outside, blah blah blah, right? So I'm queuing up. And for some reason in this co-op, I don't know if it was because of the area, fuck knows, but they had a security guard in there, right?
Yeah.
Now, I went into the post office bit, and I think I didn't have the bags or something like that. So I bought them in there to then put the shirts in. So I took 10 minutes. I was writing the addresses on these thingies on the side, where in normal life you can literally stand there and write out whatever you want, right? I was there for 10 minutes, and this security guard, who was obviously like letting people in, kept poking his head round and looking at me, right? And he came over and it's like, you got to go. And I was like, what do you mean I've got to go? I've not finished what I'm here to do. I've literally got 2 more addresses, and I'm going to post them, and then I'll go. And he started getting really agitated and really angry with me. And I said, look, mate, I'm not fucking leaving. I've been doing this for the last fucking 10 minutes. I'm nearly done. I'll post them and then I'll go. Do you know what this cunt did? Right? He went outside and told the entire queue, oh yeah, there's a guy in there with a beard who's refusing to leave and is taking age. So basically, he was pissing off the queue about me. I'm not being funny. Like, not to be extreme because it didn't happen, but who's to say that didn't piss them off? And then I got attacked on the way out because everyone was just in this mental fucking mind state. So I was just there to do what I was there to do, which is not a fucking issue. He was making up rules. I had like this fucking 10-minute slot to be in the shop, and then went out and grasped me up to all the people that were waiting. It's just like, what fucking... I left there so fucking angry. And I was angry for like a few days about it. Because I was like, what fucking reality am I living in here where I can't go to the post office, write on some pieces of paper and post some fucking shirts without being like verbally almost abused, and then almost set up to be attacked by a fucking mob outside? What the fuck? Where am I? This is like Black Mirror.
It was like, it was. The whole thing was like Black Mirror. There's so many
mad.
So many like funny things that happened in life that were just happened so quick. Just fun, like you're queuing at a supermarket and you're only allowed to get one toilet roll and just weird things.
Mate, I never forget the first shop I did after lockdown, mate. When fear was like at its peak, I had like 2 masks on, marigold gloves, like in the fucking shop, with a trolley, get all your food, get home, Dettol the food down with wipes and shit.
Yeah.
Just what the fuck were we doing, man?
When it was, I remember at one point, and Amazon must have just gone, yeah, fuck off. They were like talking about banning deliveries or putting them because like the stuff could travel on parcels, and it was like, shut up, like now you're getting stupid. But my mum was doing all our returns, and like she would get them, and then they would sit somewhere for like 4 or 5 days, like, and then she would spray them all down with Dettol. And then like transport them, and it just made me laugh. Like all that out of packaging, I'm like, It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
Like,
I-
looking back, it's hilarious. But
It is.
Yeah.
I knew someone who would purposely leave all the mail, all packages they've been sent, and quarantine them in their own house
yeah,
48 hours.
yeah.
Just leave it there. I'm not touching that because it might have COVID on it. So I
think-
can't. It's like, fuck
Yeah. The moment that fucked me up was I drove over because my mum lived by herself, so she was in my bubble, so I could. Drove over on my birthday to see her, and she got like quite into it, you know, like the rules and as we all did. But
Yeah.
but she was very stringent, and she wouldn't give me a hug on my own birthday, and that was when I was like, this is actually fucked. Like
Yeah.
we're so scared. Everyone is so scared to be near each other that we won't, like my own mum won't give, and I've totally, it's not, I don't hold it against her or anything, but it's just a moment where it's like, wow, my own mum won't give me a hug on my 26th birthday. I don't know, 27th, something like that. So yeah, it's just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Do you know what, as well, thinking about it, it's orchestrated very well to control people, because what it did was, instead of putting the onus on you and your health, it made you the perpetrator.
Yeah.
So,
you don't want to kill your nanny, do you?
Yeah. So
you don't want to kill your granddad.
Whereas if you said to 99% of people, or I'd say 8% of people at the time, whatever, most people would have cracked on, unless you've got vulnerable children, like people. You go, okay, yeah, we'll that makes sense, and for your own health, you would go, yeah, let's crack on, because I'm willing to take the risk myself because of the stats, whatever. But what it did, and what they cleverly did, was if you had that attitude, all of a sudden you were willing to be a spreader, and you would go, and then all of a sudden, if you did anything, people were like, oh, what are you doing? Like, you're going against it, you're going to spread it, like, and you're willing to take the risk yourself, but now you're a spreader.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny. COVID is still out there. It still exists. And yet no one gives a fuck.
It's still 100%.
No one cares.
It's still going around. Yeah.
No one fucking cares.
When you get a cold, do a COVID test.
Yeah.
You'll have COVID.
Yeah. That's quite a tangent, but fucking it does me in.
It's good, because this all links to, in a roundabout way, it links to what the main point of the podcast was going to be about, which is about control. It is, at the end of the day, it's about control. So I'm guessing everyone would have heard by now about CBDCs, central bank digital currencies.
Oh yeah, is that their attempt at like Bitcoin and stuff?
Basically like a digital whatever currency. So for here, it'd be a digital pound, America, a digital dollar. It's like the digital version of the currency they already have.
Right.
And the way that it looks to be implemented is going to be a massive control sort of program, in my opinion. But it looks like, I mean, for example, you've got countries like China who are already in a pilot stage. There are already people using the digital version of, I think they have the yuan in China, the digital version of that. So there's people who are literally now using that currency digitally. But there have been rumors that the Chinese government want to implement expiry dates on some of this digital money to, I would guess, stimulate some economic benefit. So if you have money and someone says you are going to have to spend this or you lose it, what are you going to do? You're going to spend it. And also, are they going to let you spend it on certain things? Are you going to be able to, for example, spend that digital yuan on something in a foreign country? They're probably going to limit what you're going to be able to spend it on. If it isn't going to benefit their own country, you're not going to spend it, because they'll just not allow you to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put something on the screen here.
Fuckers. That's such a bad move, isn't it?
Yeah.
Expiry date on money is, I mean, it technically has got, with inflation, it kind of has got an expiry date anyway.
It's devaluing itself as we speak, but the expiry date is slightly different. But this is a map, obviously, and you've got countries here. They're all color coded. So the red color, which as you see here, is Ecuador. They have cancelled their digital currency. They're no longer using it. They're not planning to use it in the foreseeable future. everyone that's green, so you got Australia, UK, America, they're in the research stage. So they are currently researching using it. Everywhere in purple, so you've got Russia, Kazakhstan, Brazil, another big economic state. They are in a proof of concept stage. So there will be, I'm assuming, soon pilots put in place. And everywhere in orange is somewhere that already has a piloted digital currency. So China and India have got one. Canada have one. There's quite a lot of countries that have piloted this. I think Nigeria is another one that's highlighted recently. No, yeah,
It's
Nigeria.
funny how like China and Russia,
Yes, or if you,
like
it kind of leads
communist
into,
background.
especially with the BRICS stuff, which is the Brazil. I
Yeah.
can't remember Brazil, Russia, China, India.
Oh yeah, that
South
alliance that they got going on.
Yeah. It's India. I imagine is India purple.
India is it's in
Pilot.
pilot, which is orange. Yeah, so
Just
they've got their
past
own.
the proof of
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's only two countries that have launched this like fully, and you can barely see them on the map. It's Bahamas and Jamaica are the two countries
Interesting.
that currently have the digital currency fully set out and operational.
So is it a digital currency based on is it their current currency as well? So like one would be the pound, but it would be
Yeah.
in the digital
Yeah,
form.
it's literally if anyone's into crypto, right? It's literally the technology that
the blockchain
crypto
technology.
the crypto have developed, and they've just said we're going to take that and we're going to implement everything that we already have from our own currencies onto it, and that's it.
But that defeats the object. Sure.
Also as well, how does it? Again, you got to be careful of inflation, because if you just like who is controlling how much that they're releasing?
The central bank, which is a massive red flag, because if the central bank have control over all of the money, they'll say, for example, let's just say people who have benefits in this country, right? They'll say you can't spend that money on something like cigarettes. If you're getting benefit money and you need to pay for food or you need to pay for your own home, you can't use that for Netflix. I'm saying we can see here every transaction you're doing, where it's going, to what company it's being paid to, and where the money has come from in the first place. If it's a government program, like
really
having benefits is, you send the money to them and you say, right, there you go, you can then spend your benefits. Oh, you can't spend it on Netflix and you can't spend it on cigarettes. What are you buying? Are you buying alcohol with it? No, you're not doing that anymore. You're blocked. You're prohibited from spending that money where you want. And that's, if I'm just basically making this scenario in my head based on what the government have done already just in this country. But if we take in other countries what they've done, I wouldn't doubt for a second that they'd block these transactions of people spending the money on what they wanted to.
Yeah, it's really it's almost going to be like cash, and even just normal currency in your bank will come a little bit. If this went full fledged, it'd be like black market. Because the other, if they do digital currency full on the blockchain, like I say, they will just know where every transaction goes. Which who does that benefit? The government. Like VAT. They're already going that way anyway with businesses, because it's all online. They want everything linked. All the old school methods. Just makes it very easy for them to get their money.
Would this go the other way though? As in, like, could we then see how they're spending tax?
We get no access. That's the trouble.
It won't be like Bitcoin is. So Bitcoin is basically an online ledger where you can see transactions between wallet addresses. You won't be able to see it. They'll use the technology, but they'll have access to obviously what they give access to us.
It's so fucked, isn't it?
Which is ridiculous.
So you'll probably have access to your own ledger, your own account in your own ledger, but they will have access to all ledgers. So again, like you say, it just massively just gives them so much more control, especially with blockchain, because it's like they can literally, it's easy for them to pick stuff out in it.
Yeah.
Like I say, exactly what you're spending.
But it's just, is there not like an underlying massive irony that the blockchain was created to give people financial freedom, and now the government are trying to take it and literally make the antithesis of what it was supposed to be?
Yeah. It's ridiculous. And it links back. I don't know if you guys remember when I did the 15-minute cities episode.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
Now, let's just paint the example, right? 15-minute cities are implemented. Let's just say, for example, I can't leave Yarmouth, Galston area, right? So I'm using this digital currency. That's the only currency I can use. Everywhere accepts it. So if I want to go to a shop, I'll have to pay with digital pounds. Now, if I want to go out of the area and I've already used up my allotted, I can't remember what it was, I think it was like 100 times a year, something like that, you could go outside of the boundaries of the 15-minute city. Now, if I want to go and spend money outside of that 15-minute city,
Your money don't work.
they'll see that and they'll block it. So hang on, you've used all your 100 passes here. You can't spend the money where you are currently. You should not be there. So we're blocking you off for money. To me, that's something they're instantaneously going to do if that happens.
I just don't, with the 15-minute cities, and even this, but then again, lockdowns happened and everyone fell in line. But surely people would just burn Westminster to the ground. How the fuck would everyone stay in line with this 15-minute city thing? You can only leave X amount of times. Who the fuck are they to tell us we can do that?
Yeah.
What? How the fuck would government not be usurped? Does that not?
Yeah.
Does anyone else get that? Like, no, the fuck would just be like, oh well, I guess it's just the way it is now.
That's the thing. The way they do it though, they're always very clever about the way they implement stuff.
Yeah.
It's never like. And they know, don't they? They know there'll be like an uprising with certain stuff. It's the way that it's the way they implement it.
I know that of course they'd come from the angle of like, you don't need to leave your 15 minutes because everything is there for you. You never need to leave again. It's going to be great. Think of the convenience. Think of how easy your life is going to become that you don't have to leave it's all that bollocks. But what the fuck? Like, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I would happily head a fucking uprising against that. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
It's just a way for them to do it as well. Again, like with tolls and different things, is they just do it slowly and gradually, but with monetary value. So just put in again, like if you go back 50 years, whatever, you said, oh, there's going to be charges to get into London and all this and do it, like people go mad. But then they just slowly bring it in, and then they slowly increase it. So it's like, oh, there's just going to be a little nominal fee of like, I don't know, £2.50 to leave your area, and you're like, oh, okay, I can live with that. And then they just slowly increase it till just enough so that you don't get a revolt.
Yeah. I mean, there was at one point where people were absolutely seething, frothing at the mouth that you had to pay congestion charge.
Yeah, mate. And we're seeing
now there's ULEZ, which is you've got to have certain emissions of your car qualified to go into certain areas of London. Otherwise, you've got to pay for.
There's quite a backlash against that now, isn't there? Or even more so because they're like making it go over Heathrow and shit. So if you want to go on fucking holiday and leave your car there, you have to pay the ULEZ daily, even though your car's just sat there.
Yeah.
Mate, I was thinking with the digital currency as well, awful for businesses. So like, if they do set that up, one of the things they would probably do is, because you can do it very easily with blockchain, is they could just take their VAT straight away.
Oh yeah, they'll probably deduct it as the person
deduct
pays
it instantly. So that, and then you have to claim back. So as a business, that's going to fuck your cash flow. Because you're always going to be in a position where you've got to claim back. And it's likely that they would do that, given the fact that everyone when you're on like PAYE, your tax instantly comes out.
Yeah.
If they had the technology to do that with businesses, they would, and they will be able to with that.
100%. And again, that's something I wouldn't even doubt them. That would already be in place, 100%. That is something that they've talked about probably years ago, and when that comes in, that will just be running up. That's all right. Well, that's the 20% gone. Then I'll have to claim that back at some point, and it'll take probably months for it to get back. But yeah, that's
the thing. They can be so quick to take your money, but to get it back,
yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah, mate. That's always the way. Yeah, always the
Yeah.
way with the government system.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only going to go more that way, isn't it? I mean, like I say, it's gone. If you think 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah. With the digital currencies, would they replace like cash?
Yes. Because the whole reason with cash is, a lot of people say cash is king because cash is a physical thing. If I give it to you, the government can't see unless they're videotaping you, surveilling you all the time. They can't see that I've given you cash. So then they'll be like, well, there's no transaction that's happened there. But now I'll be giving you a digital version on their fucking surveillance network.
Yeah.
And it can visibly be seen that is transferred from one person to the other. Which will have obviously implications for, well, gifts, or dare I even say, like, things like inheritance, stuff like that. It's going to be even more easy for governments to see what is being transferred to people.
Yeah, because it's like with property and stuff. Don't you have to have given your property to your spouse like 8 years prior? Otherwise, they can still take it as part of inheritance or take a percentage as part of inheritance.
Put it into a trust as well. Yeah, that's interesting.
Now, I've just got up this article, which is centered around Nigeria with the CBDC they're using. Now, the government are doubling down on the CBDC there. Many people, I'd say a vast majority of the people, despise the fact that it's been brought in. So when people protested and when people were saying, look, this is not right, you're killing businesses, you're killing people's way of life here. We've been using cash for ages. We've been using it for generations, and then you'll just can it off. So then they started to restrict cash withdrawals of the physical currency to $225, the equivalent of $225 per week for individuals, and $1,123 equivalent for businesses. So they were forcing them to use the digital currency by limiting the supply of the physical currency, which is still rated and valued the same as the digital. But you can, it's incentivized for you to use the digital. Well, incentivized is the wrong word.
But that isn't incentivization. That's extortion, surely. How the fuck can you like in any other fucking way of life? That is extortion.
Yeah. Because you're just saying you can. Here's a token, but you can only spend it within this realm, whereas cash is totally versatile. I think I read a clip or watched a clip. That we only have about 1% of the cash of the actual total value of the money anyway at the moment.
Yeah.
1 or 2%. It's really low. So like if everyone was to just go and get
their money out.
We only hold about 1 or 2%. So the banking system would collapse. Because it's impossible to have that much cash. And if you think of big companies, to get £1 million out of the bank, it's very difficult. You have to go through so many procedures to actually get it out cash. You have to order it in. It's not even held at the bank. They have to order the money in.
Yeah. We've already seen the exact result of that recently with Silicon Valley Bank.
Exactly.
It was a bank for tech startups. So the vast majority of the accounts had over £250,000, which in America is the limit for what you're insured for. So if the bank goes under, if you had under 250,000, they'd say, "Here's your 250,000 on the US government, have it back." But if you had over that in the account, you'd only be compensated for 250,000, and then everything over that, you'd just be like, "Well, sorry, That's the insurance policy. We don't have anything else. So you had like tech companies worth, billions, millions of dollars, and they were seconds away from being completely decimated because the bank just basically collapsed on itself.
Yeah.
So the government in the end had to bail them out and say, well, here's all the money that you had in the bank. Where's that come from? Oh, we just print some more money.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just fuck inflation even more.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man. That's fucking mad.
Yeah, I don't want to bring the fucking mood down, but I just make people
No,
aware.
mate. It's very, very, very interesting. And I think
worry.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's summed up perfectly by Mr. Joe Boy 456, who says, "No more car boots, Jordan." That's it. If we go digital, car boots are fucked.
Unless they start adoption of Bitcoin and crypto, I'm back on board if that's the case. But if we're using CBDCs, fuck off.
It's weird, isn't it? That so the banks bail them out and get the print, so that it kind of destroys capitalism because you've got all that money in a bank that the bank has lost. Like that money has gone, so it's been devalued. And you got to bail people out, I understand, because there's companies that got millions, haven't done anything wrong. But then if you print all that money again, it's back into the circulation, and it goes around and gets spent. And obviously, that's why you get inflation. And the more that times that happens, the more we just keep the value of our money just keeps going down and down and down.
Yeah.
And because we're now it's a world economy, like or every bank that collapses affects us.
Yeah. I mean, the British arm of the Silicon Valley Bank was sold to HSBC for £1.
Yeah.
For a quid.
Yeah. They're basically taking on debt.
Yeah,
I see.
But then the government,
they didn't want any public money or tax money to be bailing out people for the Silicon Valley bust here in this country. So they just, said, HSBC, you're a massive fuck off bank, buy it for £1. So they bought it for £1, took on all the debt. Fuck knows what happens behind the deal, what, incentives are there for HSBC. I don't know. I'm assuming there will be some, but it's just a fucking nightmare. This entire situation is a nightmare because we've heard of bailouts, but now they're talking about doing bail-ins, and bail-ins is even worse because the money that you say, for example, I bank with Barclays, not saying this is going to happen with Barclays, but it's an example. I've got a bank account with Barclays. I've got, all my direct debits set up in there. I get my savings accounts in there, whatever. My money is in Barclays. Right. Say they have issues with cash flow. Instead of asking for a bailout from the government, they may be allowed now to just say, well, we've got loads of accounts with people's money in. Why don't we just ring fence their money and we'll get the money that we need, the capital that we need from them. So you go to try and withdraw your money. Said, no, you can't because we're having troubles with cash flow. You can't have your money. So we're going to keep a portion of your money so it allows the bank to run properly.
Yeah.
And I'm just, no, you fucked up, so I'm taking my money out.
That's the thing with banks anyway. The money is created within it. Like the bank can loan for every 10% cash. I think it can loan up to 100. It can 10x it to loan it out. So it's just the bank can create that money. So you give a bank £1,000, it can now loan 10 grand out. That's how the banking system works. But yeah, the bank doesn't hold all the money. Like I say, there's only 1-2% cash that's in there. The bank's putting it into what they think will see fit as good investments.
Yeah,
which sometimes are shit investments. Is it like, I don't know 100%, but when they buy bonds of loans or bonds of mortgages, and some of those are just absolute shit. Like that's when we got the 2008 crash because it was just everything. It was all packaged up, wasn't it?
The mortgage bonds. But the Silicon Valley Bank collapse was because they bought government bonds, which is basically, it's literally like an agreement. We'll pay you like 4% if you let this mature for a year, we'll pay you 4% when it's done. So give us $1,000 now, and we'll pay you
Yeah.
4% interest on that in a year's time. Now banks are having troubles with like, shit, we need more cash. We need to sell all of the bonds that we've got on currently, but they sold them for less than the bonds were currently worth because they hadn't matured to their full point. So they were getting in money, but hemorrhaging money because they'd already agreed to give this money to the government in bonds. So all that missed opportunity for having the small payoff, 4% payoff at the end, was capitulated because they took out early with penalties. So they were trying to claw money back on one hand, but losing fucking so much more on the other, which just imploded. The whole situation just spiraled and imploded.
Yeah, that's as soon as that system catches fire, you're fucked, because it's a spiral effect, and then it's like everyone starts panicking. Then a bit like a pyramid scheme. It's the money, if the money stops coming in,
it's a race to the bottom.
There's a really good documentary on Amazon called "The Bankrupt Billionaire," and that's about a collapse. Well, it's about the guy who's a billionaire, and essentially, don't want to ruin it too much, but it's also about a bank collapsing. And a similar thing it happened with them, and that set up like where the money was and how it was hemorrhaging. His personal. I won't tell you too much about it, but like he had a bit where he was losing per day like 70 million one day, 80 million another day.
Bloody hell!
Like it was crazy, and he had at one point he had billions of pounds worth of cash flow. Really interesting program, and he built some absolutely massive companies. Really like humble guy from like humble beginnings, and just it's worth a watch because he literally, I mean, it's in the title, The Bankrupt Billionaire.
Yeah,
it's like Elon Musk going bankrupt.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Not him because he's the richest man in the world, but someone of that stature at the time.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's crazy how quickly it implodes on
Yeah,
itself.
if the terms of where your money is, if those terms are like just slightly out of whack with a scenario that's unexpected, which is what happened with him.
It's crazy. But ultimately, if you're going to take one thing away from all the information that we've given you so far, it's just be wary, because this is, in my opinion, this is the next step to just controlling basically your entire livelihood, which isn't great. I don't want the government to make decisions on what I can and can't buy.
Absolutely.
I understand there'll be people out there who agree. Well, probably they're very hardline people, but there'll probably be people out there who agree with the fact that the example I gave, people on benefits shouldn't be able to buy
Of
alcohol.
course, they'll be like, well, why should they buy cigarettes with their money? And it's like, okay, I can sort of see where you're coming from, but we're free people.
Yeah.
You can't tell people what they can and can't. If they want to go and piss away their benefit money on collecting fucking mangoes, I don't know, they can do that. They can do whatever the fuck they want, It's just you can't.
This is like all the banks instantly giving all your accounts information to the government. So this will be open access. So basically, imagine the government, they can do this in extreme circumstances, get into your bank account, but this would just be, they would just have access to that information all the time. And they would collectively have access to all the bank information of that country. So one, they can manipulate that information because they know exactly if you have all that information, if you know where all money is traveling, in what percentages and where it's going in the direction of it, like you can make a lot of money off that.
Yeah.
It's having all that data.
Yeah.
In your hands is super powerful.
Would it essentially be like being audited 24/7?
Exactly. Yeah. It's an open audit for them to just at any time look in, and also obviously within the blockchain they can just set parameters as red flags. So it's like if a company is doing something and they haven't got a percentage back that they should, instantly go, cool, right, straight into that bank account. Where, you know, like at the moment, it doesn't work like that. It's like they'd have to have a reason to go and look into something, whatever. This is everything open, and also you can set parameters to red flag stuff to fire it straight to them.
Yeah.
If, basically, like, you know, if you want your own personal bank account open to the government all the time for them to look at, like real bad implications, really. You know, people kicked off about Facebook having your information.
Yeah.
Like, imagine this: they've got access to all your every single spending habit that you do.
Yeah.
That data is powerful, man.
They'll market it. They'll market it as if they're doing you a massive favor. They'll say, "You don't have to worry about your taxes anymore because we don't need. Sit back, relax." It's like,
I mean, I must admit that as a self-employed person, that would be lovely.
Oh no,
that's how they get.
Yeah, because that you'd be fucked. You wouldn't have any leverage. They'd be like, you're not getting any benefits.
Yeah.
They'd be taking all the benefits from you.
That's not an expense. It is.
Exactly.
They've kind of done it in the They've kind of done it with the legislation in the property market. There's a load of landlords at the moment, portfolio landlords, are old school ones that are just selling up their portfolios.
Yeah.
Because before you could claim, like a normal business, you could claim all your expenses back from like your property. You could claim like, you know, your mortgage cost against the property, like you would normally do in a normal business. But now they've changed all that, so you can't claim anything back. Literally, you have to pay tax on the full rental income, which is just fucked loads of old school property owners. So now they're either selling up, and the way to now is do it for a business, but it's a bit more complicated.
Fucking hell. It's all going to shit.
So, I mean, I'm not.
Let's hope that the alert is needed and we just get nuked.
Yeah, be easier.
Best.
See, I mean, Mr. Joe Boy 456. I don't think you were here for the start of the podcast, but we did talk about the phone alert on Sunday.
Yeah, it's literally the start of the pod, dude. So if you give it a watch back, it's the opener.
Yeah, it's crazy times. It's crazy.
It's weird times.
Controlling times, isn't it?
Fucking weird times.
The thing that fucks me off the most, right? They've seen the crypto market, right? They've seen what the technology is, and they've gone, "That's fucking brilliant
for us."
Suck them off. We're taking it, and we're going to put it in our own system. Oh, hang on. You're literally on one hand, you're saying, you know, the only people who invest in Bitcoin are fucking drug peddlers who want to smuggle it.
It's volatile. Like, don't do it. Blah blah blah.
Take that, and we'll put it on our own currency. See you later.
Wow.
We're going to take the whole concept decentralized, and we're just going to make it centralized. We're going to have the exact same technology.
The whole white paper of Bitcoin decentralization. What if we centralize that?
Centralized. Okay, we'll have that. Thanks.
Hate him, man. Hate him.
But yeah, I just want to warn people. I'm not saying it's definitely happening, but there's a large proportion of the countries involved in CBDCs, as you can see by that map.
And also, if you look at the update rate on the United Kingdom, we seem to be increasing speed heavily.
Yeah.
Where's that? Right.
So
shit! Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
If you click on it, it'll tell you like what the updates are currently for the start of the year. So at the moment, there's not a lot of stuff on this side of on the timeline. But if you went there like back end of last year was when it really started to ramp up, and there were like updates every day. It's like testing. Oh, it's like it's coming, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
I wonder if they're gonna, when they launch this, if they're gonna like take any money from the reserves and like transfer it over, or whether it's going to be new money.
Fuck knows.
Because then it's like again, that word of printing money doesn't.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. You're still printing money. It's like, and who's in charge of all the supply? Who? I guess it'd be the Bank of England,
central bank.
Yeah. Poor King Charles. He's just got his fucking face on a 50p, and now we're getting rid of it.
Yeah, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's like there's kind of like three forms of there's like the digital money in your bank, there's cash, and then there's this other digital.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah, because that's yeah. Because I mean, surely like using your card is just technically using digital money.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only difference with that is they don't know where it's all going because it's all spread through different banks, and again they have to go in. But with this other technology, they can feed it all. It's all fed into one hub through the blockchain, and they can.
So would that make the banks obsolete then?
Nah, no, it was still.
You'd still feed it through them first.
I imagine what will happen is you'll have two accounts through. So
Right.
you'll have your normal account, normal digital account, which is and then eventually I imagine it would just go into they would just scrap that off. Why would you need two accounts to just have it? So like basically you'll have your normal bank, but it'll be on the blockchain.
Yeah.
So it's an open bank, but all this is an open bank account.
Yeah.
Because we've already got digital currency. It's already there, and we use it. This is just basically saying we want access to all the information of where you spend your money for every single bank account, for every person, every business.
And they'll probably do like some sign-up incentive, like we'll give you £1,000.
Yeah. But having that information is so powerful. I mean, look at the rise of Facebook through knowing information.
Yeah.
If the governments have all this information, like think what they know instantly as a country, like where everyone's spending money. Again, it's control. It's like the ultimate control.
Yeah, certainly is.
Cray. But yeah, it's something I don't want to happen, but I feel like it's already too far down the road for it not to be. The thing with picking out China because they are quite bad at it, but they will make sure whatever they have implemented or tested is
just comply.
It's like that's working brilliantly. Even though there's people on the streets like throwing fire bombs at the police, going, "I don't want you fucking take my money, you can." I mean, it's they'll say it's a great success, proper Borat. Great success. And it's like, oh well, it's not though, is it? It's really fucking not. But it will be portrayed that way. No
it's
doubt.
Hard not to comply with it if they push it and incentivize it, because it's just like cash in it. You can say, "Oh, I'm not going to have a bank account," or like try living your life on cash now, just pure cash. It's so difficult. As soon as they incentivize businesses to be like, "Okay, you have to do digital currency," like that's just the way it is. Like it's gonna be so hard to get around it.
Burn down Westminster.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite interesting.
Guy Fawkes this shit.
But they'll do it gradually and cleverly, so it's like it won't even be a.
Look at that. 2016 Finland was straight out, cancelled.
That's interesting.
They announced it in 1993.
Yeah, they did announce.
It all starts with Finland.
That's it.
That's interesting, isn't it? Finland.
Especially as it's a Russian-Japanese conglomerate.
All right, we're off to Finland.
That's it.
It's interesting. I've just literally noticed on this, you can go back in history and look at the progress of countries adopting the idea and putting it into research. So it looks like from this, I think if I went back to 2016, looks like the UK have been looking at it since 2016. Yeah.
That's just more proof that Finland's not real.
Exactly.
UK. Savage. Absolutely savage. So yeah, it's been in development, the idea since 2016. So we're now 2023. I mean, fuck me, that's 9 years down the line. It's fucking coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Oh dear. Well,
just be ready.
Yeah.
For Sunday.
CBDC. It's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it?
Yeah. I remember watching a video of Rishi Sunak. I think it was when he was then Chancellor, not the Prime Minister. But the way he said it was like CBDCs. I was like, that sounds awful. Can we not just
That-
call it something else?
What's the hemp thing? Is that CBD?
CBD,
Yes,
yeah.
CBD.
And then you got the CDC, which is the Control of Diseases, isn't it, Senna?
Yeah.
Something
Because
like
when
that.
you said about it, I was like,
CBC.
I thought it was something to do with weed.
Yeah. We've got another sponsor. We're sponsored by CBDC. Oil.
We're getting paid. We're getting paid in digital currency.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take it. I'll take some digital currency.
that's how they get you.
Oh, you won't. Oh,
That's how they get you. But yeah.
Right, for the last sort of like 5-10 minutes, we'll answer any questions you guys have in the chat. If you want to send some questions our way.
Yeah, because that was depressing. Not gonna lie.
That was heavy. That was very heavy.
But it wasn't as clickbaity as I thought it was going to be because we did get quite heavy with it. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
No, I wouldn't say that was clickbait at all.
Cool. It's something I've been eyeing up for a long time. So like 6 months or so, I've been hearing about it, looking at it.
Yeah, you come across very well informed, I have to say, Loz. I was like, Jesus Christ.
You've been on it.
Does he work for him?
I got Rishi on
Rishi on the blower.
ready for Rishi. What a slogan. Ready for Rishi? No. I think all of us are ready to fucking kick him out, to be honest, but there we go.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter who he gets in. It's like,
No, not at the moment anyway.
Irrelevant.
But it'd be quite interesting, though. Well, I mean, you say that, but what do you think? Even like Labour would be the same?
Mate, it's all bullshit, and it's all smoke and mirrors. It's
Yeah.
red or blue. Like,
yeah, which side you're on?
Like they all they do is give us an illusion of small choices between different things to like the grand master plan, and not to be like conspiracies about it, but it's just like that they'll be doing whatever they need to do anyway. There's set agendas and set stuff like that, for instance, that whether blue or red, that's still going to happen.
Yeah.
They just give you like a small illusion of you can do this, do that. The illusion of choice. The same with America, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, absolutely.
Give people the illusion of choice, and they think that they can make a difference.
Yeah.
But like realistically, what have we got control of? Like
not a lot.
We can't even influence where our money goes. Like
no.
And also you vote them in because they say they'll do X, Y, Z,
and they never do.
They never do it anyway. They just do whatever they want to do. So it's like, again, it's just an illusion of like giving people some sort of hope.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
But I don't blame who's ever in. I think whoever they do the best with what they can do. You always need someone to. If it goes shit, you need someone to blame. Like Boris with lockdown and all that, it doesn't matter who's in charge, still gonna fuck it up over. Can't blame Boris for COVID.
That's it.
Just
the parties.
Yeah. I mean, they'd all have been the same, wouldn't they? Whoever was in. They'd have all done the same thing.
What's Reese J. Walton? When are we getting the tier list part 3? I think we've already done
part 4. Yeah,
it's
part
4 next. I was going to say we could do it on this episode, but we're at an hour now, so it would be fucking.
And that would be a hell of a left turn.
Yes.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
That would be fucking.
So here's how your economy and your currency is collapsing. Let's look at the horror films that we rate.
It's a horror.
I did say to Loz though. I said to Loz, like, when we finally finish that tier list, Loz, cut all of the bits and put it in one video, and it'll probably be like a fucking 3-hour tier list video.
That'd be probably more.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. That.
Yeah.
How's the wrist doing?
Yeah, it's still painful. I still can't like rotate my hand fully that way. But I tell you what's weird, right? Because I was told as first time I had a cast, they're like, "Oh, it's going to be itchy. Make sure you get a knitting needle." And there were moments when it was itchy. It's been itchier in the last day out of the cast, than it was in the cast. But yeah, I still can't do gym and golf and stuff for a month, unfortunately, because
Jeez.
I've got to rehabilitate it. But yeah, it's getting there. But I don't think I'm going to do boxing ever again because just
Oh,
one
shit.
punch and it's put me out for 2 months. That's fucking
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Boxing is fun. It's great cardio. That's why I did it, because I find the treadmill boring. But it's not worth 2 months out for anything.
No.
It's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I imagine it's weakened as well now, isn't it?
Yeah, massively. So I tried not to do too much with my right arm whilst it was in the cast, because I didn't want like a disparity when the cast came up. I thought I'll just weaken them both. Fuck it. I couldn't handle it.
Jaden Squad Watt says, would you do APMA camping too?
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
We've discussed this
Yeah,
before. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
All up for it.
I know we did it before in December, which was bold and it was awesome, but I would like to do it in the summer,
Yeah,
where it's just
100%,
like,
mate.
this is awesome and not
100%.
potentially hypothermia, death.
Yeah. I mean, it was life threatening for me, but
It was for you, yeah.
I feel like that was my own fault as much as it was the environment. But
Yeah.
it's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not for it.
As well, considering it was so cold, and we didn't have much food and stuff. So, like, saying that, it should be a grim experience, but I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Like, the sleep wasn't great, but the actual concept. So, like, to do it in the summer with food and just go out and just have a normal trip will be so much fun.
Yeah, I think that no budget, just like
the
gear you've got. Yeah, actually do it for enjoyment and camp. Yeah, that'd be
so
awesome.
Like I'm going wild camping soon, but
nice.
Yeah, I can't wait to just do more camping, to be honest.
What sort of location are you looking at?
I'm gonna get to the Peak District.
Nice.
I'm just waiting for just a delivery of like I've got a small kind of tent, like a one-man tent coming, and then a decent roll mat. So
cool.
I don't have one of those. So I think with those two things, I've got all the other gear, but those two things, yeah. And my mate lives up in Sheffield, so he's got some spots up there, so we're gonna have a little mooch round. Yeah, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I could have done with a nice roll mat, I think.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
You could have done with many things.
Yeah, food, roll mat,
sleeping bag,
warmth.
Yeah,
everything essential to survival.
But at least you had cutlery.
Yeah, hold up cutlery.
That is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Just
cutlery,
£4 on cutlery and no food.
I think now, I'm gonna get a look into my mind, right? I don't particularly like messy food, so if I get the opportunity to cut something up, I normally do.
Right.
But in my defence, I did think we were going to eat the roast dinner that we cooked.
Right.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Not edible.
No. So I'm glad I didn't use it to try and eat the roast dinner. But upon reflection, just some food would have been a great idea to bring.
Making me hungry now. But on the next camping trip, let's make some nice food, some steaks.
Yeah.
That's actually
that'd be really cool.
Decent food.
I've still got the fold up cutlery somewhere.
Nice.
Nice. The sleeping bag, not so much. The
tent. I don't think
I've
got anything from that trip.
No, I haven't. I think I gave it all to the charity shop.
Yeah.
Nice move. I think let's make this the last one from Big Fuck P.
At my podcast. Big P.
Ghost investigation ?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, like, because Lozzie, you come to him anyway. All it would tell Dan, if you ever want to come to one,
I'm down.
Come along, and then there we go. We got it in the bag. But yeah, we recently went because I did a abandoned asylum 2 years ago. That's when we went to the pub afterwards, and then like a guy got bottled and shit, and it was crazy. And the people there, they were like, this pub's haunted, so if you ever want to come back, just let us know. And then like 2 years later, we pinged them a message, and that's where we were on Monday. So we just filmed it, and it was really, really cool. Lovely people as well. But yeah, it was a spooky one. And and it was a bit different. I like it when they're different because, we've done. All right, okay, the Ancient Ramen was technically a pub once, but like I feel like that was the first like pub that we've done. This one we've just done, I like mixing them up and doing different types of locations. I still really want to do a prison. That would be awesome, but they're just so pricey.
Yeah,
Crazy. But yeah, no, it was cool. It's getting edited and it should be out by the end of this month. Nice. But yeah, like I say, anytime, Dan, if you want to come along.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Is there any abandoned prisons anywhere that you
cool? Abandoned ones.
Abandoned ones, that would be awesome. Yeah,
maybe very broad somewhere.
Yeah.
There's quite a few that said that charge a fee that are obviously well kept to a certain.
Okay, cool, yeah.
But they just charge so much.
Yeah, Shepton Mallet Prison. Shepton Mallet Prison it's not too bad if you want to go round for like a ghost hunt, but if you want to film it, it's $2,500. And it's like, okay. You do realise I'm not like the Travel Channel or Discovery Plus. Like I'm it's for YouTube. They call it commercial. It's like YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube is not commercial. It's just not. But yeah, that's how they see it anyway.
But yeah, that would be cool though to have a. I mean, if we did have the budget for it, that'd be cool. But it's not possible at the moment. But hopefully down the line.
You never know. You never know.
So,
fucking hell.
Yeah, I think the prison is the one that all of us want to do, just because it's another type of location to tick off.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. And it was also interesting to have the people that were there with us actually taking part in the investigation, which was cool.
Yeah.
Is it an all-nighter?
Well, we had to go after the pub closed. So we got there at midnight and we went till 5:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Which was pretty awesome. But I'll tell you what else it made me want to do. I was saying to the guys, like the three that were there, they were awesome. They really were. But it was almost like a little bit like we were not only were we filming an investigation, but we were like taking people on one.
Oh, right. Okay,
and so cool. I kind of feel I'd actually quite like to do like a night, like a paranormal investigation with the team and like have maybe like 10 people or whatever that like come along and then we this is how you do this type of thing and then they go off and they do that and potentially do something like that. Yeah, need to get something called liability insurance. But but yeah, I think that would be really cool.
The abandoned places will definitely be the one you want liability insurance for.
Oh yeah, I don't think you could do it with them. But yeah, no, but it was Monday was really cool. But because of my wrist and stuff, I've for the first time ever, I've given the project to Bailey to edit, and I have full faith in him. I know it's just me having full control over all the stuff so far. Like I don't like it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was on Discord with him last night. Like, so I'm sort of like, I'm going through it with him in stages. But yeah, I have left it up to him to do just because although I can do some editing now with my wrist, the investigations are like fucking hours and hours and hours and hours. And so with the wrist, it'll take even longer because I'll need to take breaks. Whereas if I'm just doing like my Facebook stuff, even with breaks, a video will take like 3 hours. So I can get things out. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just like turning a week-long edit into like 2.5 weeks or something like that, and then not getting anything done. But it'll be interesting. So I'm basically going to be, although I'm giving him some help throughout, I'm not seeing the whole thing. So
that's cool.
I'll be seeing it really well. Yeah, and I'll be seeing it as like a first-time viewer as well, even though I was there. Cool. But yeah, so that's that anyway.
That'd be cool.
Dear. I'm sure I'll do a good job. I won't lie to you guys. My throat is fucked.
Yeah,
and I need to go get some more throat sweets because I've just ran out. And
the strepsils are done.
Yeah, they're gone. Tied up.
Yeah.
Well, we'll finish it there. Thanks for joining us. I do hope that you all are prepared for the CBDC tyranny. You know what I mean? If you want to turn the alerts off, make sure you do. If you're not bothered, just let it ring out for 10 seconds on Sunday. Enjoy that. What'll be even more ironic as if we are actually under attack, and
Yeah.
we're told
The
that it's
irony.
actually a test.
I'm not being funny because they've publicised that this is happening for so long. If I was Russia
Oh,
and I was planning on doing it anyway, I'd be like, "What?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Why don't we just do it
Yeah,
when
do it
they
then.
think it's fake?"
Do it 10
Yeah.
seconds after.
yeah.
Oh, it's gone off again. No, this is
Yeah,
we're
this is
actually
real.
going.
Is that broken? No, it's
What's that in the sky?
shit.
Yeah,
So I'll live stream it. It's fine.
that's it.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your days, everyone. Wherever you're going, whatever you're doing.
However many
See you in
left.
the next one. Yeah. We'll see you in the next one.
Adios.
Bye.
Oh.